Alright, boys, we are back. It's been a rough week, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a great day to worship. And today we're finally getting into the full discography, all the way back to the beginning of the Sleep Token journey. So we're gonna be doing the EPs first, and then we'll try to do it in chronological order. I believe it's EPs first and then the albums. So today we're going to be starting with one has 3 songs from what I've been seeing, and we're just going to go back to back, stopping in between just to take a look at any lyrics that I would have missed, talk about it a little bit, give a bit of insight. That being said, though, bit of, I guess, housekeeping. You know what I'm saying? For those who are joining me on this journey for the first time as well, because I'm new to Sleep Token. For those of us who have already been through this journey and know what's going on, in the comments, please preface any spoilers with spoilers, so that the rest of us can have our own opinion on what's going on first, and then we can discuss it later. I'll probably do a quick recap after every video, just to see what you guys are saying, see if what I come up with today lines up with what's really happening. We gonna bounce off of each other and have like a really cool conversation about Sleep Token. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this story unfolds, how it starts, why it starts, where it's going, and how we ended up at the what is the current ending of this ongoing conversation. But yeah, just preface spoilers with spoilers, so that if some new people are now getting in, they can, if they don't want to be spoiled, they can avoid it. But other than that, please go ahead and leave as many comments as possible. I'm gonna read them. I'm definitely gonna read them, unless they're spoiling future EPs and songs. I'm gonna avoid that. I want to have like as pure of a thought process as possible, and then you guys can be like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about at all, which is probably gonna happen. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to it. We're threading the needle right off the bat.
Bury me inside this labyrinth bed.
Okay, sorry to pause right off the beginning, but right off the bat, you can tell they're not. Well, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I don't believe they've been recruited into a big studio or a label as yet. Just off of the fact that they sound completely different. You know what I'm saying? The mastering on this particular song, how they mix their vocals, the voice and tone that's being used here. I'm assuming that the lead singer has always been the lead singer from the very beginning up until now. So the fact that his voice is like completely different shows that the level of growth over the last 10 years. Because I believe this is from like 2016. 10 years is a lot has changed since then. So going back to from starting at Caramel, which is my very first introduction, which is like from the latest album, and then coming here, so a lot has changed.
We can feel that time is dilated. We can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again. It's time the lights down. Come on, find out.
but you can still tell from his intonation and how he says the words. It's still the lead singer. The way how he cuts up syllables and then pronounces certain things, it's still all there. Even 10 years later, it still sounds the same. But I could also be very wrong, and this could be a completely different person from the very beginning. Who knows? Like I said, I'm not doing too much research. I don't want to be spoiling anything, if that matters or not. But based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like the same guy. It's just how they mix the vocals. It's different now. It's different now. False drop was very nice. Haven't quite released the tension yet. They built it up and they just kind of like stifled it.
We can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again.
Even from back then, they were doing some cool things in music. Now, listen to that chord progression, because they're playing with your brain. Your brain is going to try to instinctually finish sentences when it comes to music. Your brain's going to try to finish it, but they're like, nah. You got to go on this journey with us. Listen to it again. I don't even think this is in 4/4. I'm not gonna bother to count though. I'm not gonna bother to count.
It's time, the lights down. Come on, I'm find out. It's time,
Oh,
the lights down. Come on, I'm find out.
All right, let's pause here for a second. Let's pause for a second. First of all, different mask than I'm accustomed seeing from them. Like you will see it in the thumbnail, they have like, you know, the white half mask, and then the rest of their skin is completely black. But this mask is like almost full. It's fully covering. It's got like a cat like features from what I can barely see, but it's very, very different. But the thing I'm focusing on here is actually the apple. Now later on, we get songs like "Take Me Back to Eden." Apple was a pretty important lesson when it came to the stories of Eden. So I'm wondering if, like, all the way from back here, they didn't know that they were going to be doing stuff related to Eden? Or did they just build off of the story they already had all the way back here? Because this is just the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, like, what significance does the apple have later on? Because there's a lot of emphasis on grabbing the apple, taking it, sharing it, supposedly. And then the question becomes, is this person that we're seeing, or this entity or thing or whatever, is this the one of the main characters? And if so, which of the main characters? Because from what I understand, there are two main characters. There's okay, their names already escape me, but they're supposed to be like Sleep itself, the entity, and then the front man of the group, who is in some twisted relationship with Sleep itself. So is this mask figure Sleep, or is the mask figure the front man of the group? Questions. Maybe the next couple songs will have answers to that. Okay. Interesting start. Before we get to the next song, I'm actually just gonna quickly look up the lyrics, see if there was anything that I missed, and maybe we can just get a brief rundown of where the story is going. This is the very first song off of One, the EP, and this one's called Thread the Needle. Okay, so right off the bat, bury me inside this labyrinth bed. It's a lot. There's a lot to take in already. So bury me inside this labyrinth bed. So the bed itself is a maze. But a maze to what though? Is the bed itself confusing, or the navigation to get to sleep is what's the maze? And by getting to sleep, I mean literally getting to sleep, or figuratively getting to sleep. See where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? We can feel that time is dilated. So time's not linear here, okay? We can spend the night in fascination. So he's daydreaming. We can spend the night in fascination. We're daydreaming. You know what I mean? Because we can't sleep. So we're just Okay, I like that. You can thread the needle time and time again. That's just good writing. If this is what they were going for, there's a lot you can read into that. First of all, we're getting back. We're talking about time again here. So at first he said that we can feel that time is dilated, but now we can thread the needle time and time again. But it could be read as we can thread the needle time and time again. There's a lot of ways you can like read that sentence and like bring some sort of meaning to it. But for now, because I don't want to read too much into it, I'm just gonna go with you can thread a needle, meaning that you can spend the night in fascination, or you can thread the needle time and time again. You can have this difficult art, this difficult time, this difficult action. We can do this over and over again. So we can spend a night in fascination every single day. We can try to go through this labyrinth maze of a bed every single day. And it goes, you turn the lights down. Come on and find out. You'll turn the lights down. Come on and find out. So who's you in this? He's saying bury me in this labyrinth. We can feel that time is dilated. Then we can spend the night in fascination. But you can thread the needle and you turn the lights down. Okay. Something to confide in. Something to erase. Just look at where we're lying, because they're supposed to be in bed. An invisible space. Okay. Thread the needle time and time again. Something to confide in, something to erase. There's so many ways you can go about this. You can think about it as like a blanket. Because as a kid, you would hide underneath your blanket. You know what I'm saying? When you're scared. When you're trying to forget about something. When you just want to go to sleep, you try to forget about it. You know, I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm just gonna go to sleep, you know, and just forget about it. And your bed is usually the place you feel safest. That's why having good energy in your room is very important. Being able to sleep well, reset your body, is very important. So something to confide in. And then going back to thread the needle, a good blanket, time and time again. You look at where we're lying. It's supposed to be in bed, but instead it's an invisible space. When you cover yourself, you're hiding from the monsters. We're lying in an invisible space. That's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. The monsters can't see you when you're hiding in your blanket. But what if he's lying with the monster though? But we can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again. You turn the lights down. Come on, so it just repeats itself. Because the day just keeps going back. Every night, he just comes back to this moment. So what does this have to do with the apple? You know what I'm saying? This is like a poem almost. And there's a lot of ways to look at it. I think the one that I said before kind of just stands out to me in terms of like, how is this all connected? What's the relationship between him and this bed? Him, the bed, and the person he's sleeping with. It starts off with bury me inside though. Bury me inside this labyrinth bed. So at the end of his lifetime, he wants to be here. His deathbed. His deathbed. There's so much you can take this. There's all the avenues, all the roads are just like converging. It's like a highway, man. Oh my God, there's like 10 lanes on one side, so like 20 lanes all together. And I'm driving in a slow lane right now. I'm so lost, but also I'm fascinated. I'm interested. But let's keep going for now. Let's leave it at that. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm thinking. You guys let me know how close or how far off I am. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to unpack here. Okay. That's just the first song. This is the first song. What am I going to do when we start going through the full albums? You know what I'm saying? When we start going through the full albums, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be some long videos. All right, what we got next? Fields of Elation. Okay.
The daylight recedes and you listen. There's a room buries the eyes like death in motion.
First impressions are a lot more brighter. Feels more hopeful, you know?
The fields of elation, quiet and lonely. Your name is a sin I breathe like oxygen, caught in the careless arms of lust again. Nobody else can pull me out. The fields of elation, quiet and lonely.
Woo! They do not care about time signatures. They're like, all right, you had enough 4/4. Let me fuck this up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me get funny with it. Let me have some fun here. You know what I'm saying? Let me just drop some crazy 7/8, some 6/9, some 12/36. They just be doing whatever, man. They just having fun with it at this point. Holy. What's the mask? We got a better look at the mask now. Okay. Okay. Disfigured. It has the perception of like a human face, but the nose is kind of disfigured, almost like if it's crooked and then smushed in. And then with that line from coming down at, like I said, it gives that very like a cat-like, you know, appearance. Interesting. Is the symbol on the forehead, does it mean anything? Does that mean sleep? Questions. So you know this song is very much it feels like he's reminiscing about a happy time. Now he's losing his faith though. He's losing his faith amongst the fields of elation. Like I said, it sounds more hopeful for the most part. I mean, compared to the last one. The last song, was it Thread the Needle? That was very much a somber song. Very much almost like when he was singing, it felt like he was in the back of his mind. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like, it felt like a thought more so than an actual expression, more so than him actually saying something. It just felt like we were listening to his thoughts as he was trying to sleep. Now with Fields of Elation, it's more so like a memory. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I'm getting. I haven't read the lyrics yet. I may have missed something, so let's take a look at the lyrics real quick. So here we go. The daylight recedes in unison. This room buries the hours like death in motion. Damn, that's such good writing. Oh my god. The daylight recedes in unison. How do you even come up with that? This room buries the hours. So before, he was asking them to bury themselves, you know, so you're asking whatever entity to bury them inside their bed, you know, the labyrinth bed. Now it's like, okay, this room buries the hours. We're talking about time again, like death in motion. That's so interesting, because it's obviously just going from the sun is setting, so it's going from daytime where the sun is considered the life bringer, and now it's slowly being buried. Oh, that's such good writing. It's slowly being buried like death in motion as the daylight recedes. Oh, that's so good. Until it becomes nighttime, where it's considered, you know, dark and gloomy. You know what I'm saying? That's a real, oh, that's bars. That's bars right there. We like that. Nobody else can pull me out. The fields of elation, quiet and loamy. Loamy. New word alert. Hold on. Loamy. We gotta look that up. We gotta look that up. Loamy. Loamy, denoting or relating to a fertile soil of clay and sand containing humus. Interesting. So denoting or relating to a fertile soil of clay and sand containing humus. Interesting. So something that's loamy is something that's full of rich soil. So the fields of elation are quiet and full of rich soil. Loamy. Today I learned. Wow. But nobody else can pull him out. That begs the question. Pull him out in what? What's the situation? Is he just lying in the bed? Oh my God. Is he lying in the fields of elation? Or is he buried in the fields of elation? Because then it'll be quiet and loamy underground for sure. It's not much happening underground noise-wise, you know what I'm saying? So, but he could just be lying in the fields, and you know, as the day goes by, it's nice and quiet. But it is interesting. Your name is a sin I breathe, like oxygen, caught in the careless arms of lust again. Ooh, yo, give it up one time. That's just beautiful writing. Oh my God. Your name is a sin I breathe like oxygen, caught in the careless arms of lust again. Ooh, that's beautiful. I don't even need to explain that. That's perfect. He said it perfectly himself. But nobody else can pull me out the fields of elation, quiet and loamy. Whoa, okay, this is so cool. So if the chorus comes after just two sentences that basically, well, not even two sentences, like one sentence that explains what he's happy about. So he's happy at first that the daylight recedes into in unison in his room, and it goes from day to night. So that's what he's happy about. But now he's happy to be caught up in this lustful feeling with whoever it is that he's with at the moment. But why is it loamy in his room? I mean, it is fertile. But that's not really something you would say about a woman or another person. I don't know if it's just could be another person. You wouldn't call them loamy, you know what I'm saying? Like rich and fertile soil, you wouldn't really call them loamy. So I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of questions. My brain is at max one cell. That one cell is working overtime. Give me a minute. I'm getting there. Then he says once again that nobody else can pull him out the fields of elation. He's losing his faith in our lives apart. I'm losing my faith in our lives apart. Is this like a long distance relationship? I'm losing my faith in our lives apart. No, I'm stupid. No, he's saying he has the he trusts that they won't be apart. The idea of them being apart, like he just doesn't see that happening anymore. He's losing his faith in that. The chances of them not being together have been reduced significantly in his opinion. Cool. But man, very, like I said, this is very poetic. Very small amount of writing, huge impact. From the very beginning, the daylight recedes in unison. This room buries the hours like death in motion. Ugh. Ugh. Talk to him one time. Bars. Your name is a sin I breathe, like oxygen caught in the careless arms of lust again. Damn. Say that people don't yearn no more. Bruh. Come on now. That's love right there. Well, we'll stick with lust for now. It's infatuation for sure, though. He's feeling whoever this person is. 100%. Crazy. Oh, I love that. The writing is so good. The writing is amazing. Honestly, amazing. Okay. We got one last song here. We're going into When the Bow Breaks, but the bow is spelled UGH. Man, my vocabulary is gonna be through the roof after this, man. When the bow breaks, a bow is a main branch of a tree, going back to the apples, bruh. We're going back to the apples. So we thread the needle. We were receiving an apple, it feels like. It feels like I was receiving the apple. And we're laying in a field of elation. And in the middle of that field is a tree, most likely an apple tree. And we're about to find out what happens when that branch, when that bow breaks. Are you not excited? Is it just me? I'm like, my brain is working overtime right now. This is going crazy. Oh, okay, let's lock in. Pay attention.
You can stay alive. Just tell me that you notice.
Okay, this is the first song where the singing style that I am accustomed to from all the more recent stuff. This is like the first instance of that technique that he's been using. How he balances his voice, how he layers it, how he does his doubles. This is the first instance of what will become the Sleep Token we know today. Those first two songs were like a baby deer walking for the first time. This is him strutting now. He's walking more confidently. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it.
Even in the dark, the way I left you breathing. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets. It's only just enough, even when we run with death. We can be released, flowing over sorrow days. We can stay suspended, even when the bow breaks. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets.
Bold move to go full acapella right now,
Just enough,
especially for your first EP.
we run with death.
Was that a cello? Like a cello mixed with a piano? Single instruments resonating. First the voice, now whatever this is. I feel it's like some kind of string instrument though. Okay, now we have multiple instruments coming in, okay. A bit of timber. Yeah. What's a nice little touch? Sorry about the pause. What's a nice little touch about how the instruments are sitting? The drums are just slightly behind everything else. Everything else is hitting the one, and the drums are just a little bit behind it to get that lazy feel, that lethargic feeling of it. It feels like it's constantly chasing after the other instruments. I think that's really cool. I like that kind of thing. You know, it's not, everything's not quantized specifically onto the one or onto the standard beat. There's something very human about it, kind of just trailing. You know what I'm saying? Just slightly. Yeah. Come on now. No warning. They just dropped that on us. Damn. Wake up. on. Whoa. When the bow breaks. Wait, that was 7 minutes? That was a 7.5 minute song. Didn't even feel like it. Oh. Oh my God. Felt very repetitive in the lyrics, so I'm very curious to see like where we're going with this one. All right, let's lock in here. Right away, it says you could stay alive. So we finally have permission to be alive. The first two joints, they were like, yeah, we're gonna die. I'd like to die. You could die here. You could be buried here if you'd like. But this one says you could stay alive. Very different. Just tell me that you notice, even in the dark, the way I left you breathing. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's kind of hot. No, because he was about to lay up. You know, he was lusting. Probably got choked out in the middle of the night. I'm just saying. Hey, we're all adults here. Most of us. Hey. Choking a little. Hey. Whatever you into, you know what I'm saying? Could stay alive. Just tell me you notice, even in the dark, the way I left you breathing. Oh, shit. Either that or this is very disturbing and he's legitimately trying to kill the person. I like to go with the first one. I think the first option is a lot more fun. Instead of murder, you know? Murder is not really... Yeah. But it continues. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets. Interesting. It's only just enough, even when we run with death. Sometimes when we give me a sec, let me read that again. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets. Why would it do that? Why would it reset? Why would it reset? It's only just enough, even when we run with death. I'm very lost here. I'm very, very lost here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm especially lost here. Let's continue for now. We could be released, flowing over sorrow days. We could stay suspended, even when the bow breaks. I remember him saying that. Yeah. So we could be released, flowing over sorrow days. So there's some sort of catharsis happening. Flowing over sorrow days. I think that means that he's crying. They're possibly just crying and just releasing, you know, all that pain that they've been experiencing. But they could stay suspended. They could stay, you know, in the air. They can stay on that high note, even when the bow breaks, even when the branch fails them. You know what I'm saying? Interesting. Then it goes back again. Sometimes we touch, everything we love resets. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets. It's only just enough, even when we run with death. And then obviously that instrumental break. Crazy. No sort of like warning or anything. And while that's happening, he's going, don't lie to me. What is that, like 8 times? Oof. Everything we touch turns water into blood. Don't lie to me, don't lie to me. You try to look away from Even when the bow breaks. Guys, I think my one brain cell's gone. I'm lost. I think I spent the entirety of my one brain cell on those last two songs, and this one, I know it's related. It's still the same context, but the expression is so different. I'm lost in the sauce right now. You try to look away from even when the bow breaks. You don't really love, you just hate to be alone. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's hurtful. That is pain. That is pain. You hate to be alone. You hate to be alone. Damn. Now that is a toxic relationship. That is toxic relationship 101. That's the very first thing. And that's painful when you realize it, like the other person's like, you're not really loving me. You just hate to be alone. Even when, like, obviously this isn't working. The bowl has broken. We should just fall away. Let's move on. But you're kind of holding on to this thing because you just hate to be alone. So everything we touch turns water into blood. Ugh. Water, very clear, a pure substance, tainted. You don't get blood unless you cut yourself open in some shape or form. Unless there's some damage. Yeah, all in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? We ain't turning water into wine, let alone water into blood. Crazy. And then it just repeats itself. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. You hate to be alone. Don't lie to me. Wow. Oh. Yeah, someone's gonna have to give me that synopsis on this one. When the bow breaks, I feel like there's way too much going on there, and I'm stupid. I might be a bit too stupid for that one. Genuinely, my brain is just not making any connections right now. But that's cool though. That's cool though. When the bow breaks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my reaction to the EP. I'm already like cutting it real close on like an hour of recording here. But it was well worth it. This was fun. This is just the beginning. I think my favorite is probably gonna be Fields of Elation, just because of the writing. The writing in Fields of Elation is like, put that in like a postcard and send that. You know what I'm saying? That's some beautiful writing, bruh. Your name is the sin I breathe like oxygen, caught in the careless arms of lust again. Oh. Delicious. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please leave a like, subscribe, leave your comments. Please leave your comments on this one. Was I close? Was I not? What am I missing? Try to keep it within the context of just one. And then if you're gonna spoil the rest of what's coming up, give me a spoiler header so that I know what's coming. I can either avoid it, or who knows, I might just read it. Besides that, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and look forward to the next EP 2, I believe it's called 1 and 2. We're gonna get to that very soon. Until then, please stay up, stay safe, and stay blessed, and I appreciate you watching. We do this kind of thing live on twitch.tv/The Wave Collective. Come say hi at some point. And until then, peace!